Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on January the 15th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so the main things that we saw happen today, first of all, Biden. So Biden announced a big $1.9 trillion stimulus package for the U.S. economy. And this is actually, it's good for the stock market, but it is not that great for the US dollar. So we did see a bit of a dip there. And then Powell as well. Powell basically in his in the speech said that they're not really looking to cut back on the asset purchases or bond purchases at this point. And again, that means lots of money in the US, and as a result of that, it's not that great for the US dollar again. Other than that, we saw euro-related news as well. The number of COVID cases in Europe are going up quite a bit, and as a result of that, they're looking at additional curfews, and so that is not positive for Europe, and again, that will have a negative impact on the euro. So those were the main things that we saw today. Coming up here on Friday, we have retail sales numbers out of the US. If the retail sales numbers dip, that will be negative for the US dollar. We also have consumer confidence numbers as well. Any kind of drop in consumer sentiment will be negative for the US dollar. All right, so let's go on to our charts now. Starting with the euro US dollar here. So overall, the move here is still to the downside. The bias is still bearish. Now, we did see that drop and then pull back in euro. So right now, neutral to bearish bias here, 1.21 is the first target, and 1.2050 is the next target. So neutral to bearish bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one, we do have a bullish candle close, but it hasn't quite closed to the other side. It's still at the top of this range it's been trading in. So this is a neutral here. It's neutral at this point till it holds on the other side. Then we can look for that next leg higher. So in this case, should price go, so first of all, if it holds below, then we're looking for a move back down towards a 1.3580. However, should it continue through here, then essentially we are back into these levels here. So in that case, the next target, is 1.3750, but I am not overly bullish on it just yet, only if it crosses through the resistance level. So it has struggled with this resistance previously as well. So if it holds below here, I'm looking for a move back down. So bias here is neutral as well for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one moved up. All that news of more money being put into the economy is a good thing, and it's good for Australian dollar here because of its relationship to the stock markets here. But at this point, bias is still neutral here. I am not quite convinced that it's all that bullish at this moment. So it's still trading in a range. It hasn't been able to get out of this range yet. So bias here is neutral. If it holds, I'm looking for it to move back into 0.7660. So neutral bias here for Aussie dollar. And then New Zealand dollar here, this one has also been stuck in a range, so bias is still neutral here. And if it holds below our resistance level here, I'm looking for it to come back down towards 0.7150. So neutral bias here for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one did drop. It's back into the support level here, and this is where we have to be careful now. So this is also trading in a range. As we can see, it's kind of stuck into the support level here. So bias here is bearish here, neutral to bearish, because if it doesn't go through, we are basically looking for a move back into the range once again. So right now, from all the crosses, as we can see, market is still looking for direction, and we are likely to see basically sort of similar type of stuff going into next week here. So bias right now is bearish. Next target is 1.2525, but if it doesn't go through, then look for a move back into the range. All right, let's take a look at our commodities now. Silver, we did see that move higher, but it's into our resistance level here. So it hasn't been able to really hold above that level. So right now this is neutral. If it doesn't break, we're basically looking for a range bound move again. So bias is neutral. As long as it holds below this 25.70 level, then looking for a move back into the range. Gold here, gold also completely neutral here. We see the price moved in both directions. It's still stuck in this range, and as such it is neutral at this point. So if price doesn't make it through, basically looking for a drop again. So bias here is neutral for gold. I'm looking for it to stay between 1865 and 1820. Oil here, oil did jump back up after that initial drop, but so with all this money being spent on the economy, this is positive for oil, because this means that oil is, well, there'll be higher demand for oil. Now it is into resistance, so that's something to watch out for. Last time price was here, it came back down. So at this point, I would say a neutral to bullish bias, but if it doesn't get through here, we're looking for a drop again. However, once it goes through, there is plenty of room to the upside here. Next target here is 54.70, and then we have 56. So bias here is bullish, neutral to bullish here. But like I said, if it doesn't break through that high from a couple days ago, we are looking for a drop. Copper here, copper did turn around as well. So this is looking bullish. Next target is 3.69, back into the highs once again. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin moving higher, still stuck in this range that it's been trading in. I would look for a retest of this 40,000, but if it holds below here, we can see it come back down into the range once again. So right now it is looking a range bound within this range between 32,400 and 40,000. So looking for a retest of 40,000 here. S&P 500, this is actually looking bearish at the moment. We see that price has been trading in this range here, and even with the positive news here, we could not see it go through. Now it is the earnings season starting, so that will make things volatile coming up here. But right now it's trading in a range, so neutral to bearish here, and once it crosses over, next target is 37.50, and then beyond that we are back into this 37.36. So bearish bias here, neutral to bearish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, same thing. Price turned back around. Now I'm looking for price to come back into 12,800 level. So neutral to bearish bias here. This is where we may experience, we may see that price may bounce off of that, so watch out. But looking for it to drop here towards 12,775. Dow Jones here, same thing. We see that price has not been able to break out of the range, even with the positive comments. That means we are likely to see a drop. Same thing though, expect volatility with the earnings, but basically at this point, looking for price to drop towards 30,770. So bias is neutral to bearish. And DAX here, same thing, it's stuck in a range. I will look for a retest of this 13,850 level here. So neutral to bearish bias for that as well. FTSE here, FTSE did move up, and Next target here, so bias is bullish. Watch out for the resistance though. It could get stuck here. But next target, once it crosses over 68.60, so bullish bias here, just with caution. And last one here, we have Nikkei. Nikkei did have a nice bullish candle close, so it looks like it wants to retreat right now after all the stuff we saw come out in the US session. It's reacting to that. So in this case, I will look for a drop towards 28,500. If it holds, then we could see that another leg higher. So a bias here is neutral. It is pulling back, but we'll see how this closes. But for now, bias is neutral. Watch out for 28.50. If it holds, we could see another leg higher. So neutral bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it. You guys have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful trading day before the weekend. And I'll be back again on Sunday with a weekly analysis. Bye for now.